How's it going, guys? Welcome. Anybody that comes into the channel this early Saturday morning. Um, I'm headed for a little bit of a drive, so I figured I'd do a live stream, talk about some things with dash cams. First things first, guys. I just want to thank everybody that continues to watch the videos, subscriber or not. I appreciate it. Um, do me a favor and just if you like the videos, hit the like button. If you like them a lot, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel and let me know exactly what you like so that way I can bring you more content. Alright, with that, guys, dash cams. In my opinion, they are a 100% must. Anybody that has seen the very first video of me getting robbed at gunpoint, you will 100% understand why. Okay? Not only are they there for your protection, they are there for your safety, they are there for your passenger safety as well. They will also help you in the event of somebody filing a false report. Okay? Now, with that being said, you need to look into your state laws and state regulations. Some and most states are either a one-party or a two-party state, which means, for instance, I know Florida is a one-party state. So, Florida, only one party has to know that the recording is in progress, which would be the person that is doing the recording. Pennsylvania, for it to be admissible in court, it has to be displayed. Now, if you look at the thumbnail for this video, there is a sticker that is shown. It says notice. It says something along the lines of notice. This car is equipped with video and audio recording and something else exactly. I can't remember. But that is stuck on the outside of my rear passenger and rear driver's side door, right on the window, on the small window behind the big one. Okay? And that is so that way it's right above the door handle. And that way anyone getting in that grabs that door handle can literally 3 inches above the door handle see that I am recording. Okay? They cannot deny that they have not seen that because it's right above the door handle. Now, if they're not paying attention, that's their own dumb fault. But it's there. My dash cam is there for my safety and their safety. I will never turn my dash cam off. I will never, ever, ever turn my dash cam off when somebody asks me to. If that's the case, if you're not comfortable being recorded, I'll pull back over, you can get out, and you can request another Uber. Because at the end of the day, anybody that is telling me to turn my dash cam off is doing so because they probably want to do some shady shit, and that shit doesn't fly in my car. So at the end of the day, yeah. If for some reason you're driving Uber and Lyft or doing any of this stuff, dash cams are there for a lot of reasons, guys. My dash cam records 24/7 anytime I'm in my car, and there's a good reason for it. And it's mainly because whether I'm driving somebody in my car or I'm just personally driving, most insurances will take dash cam footage. Say somebody cuts me off and I hit them. Technically, if they cut me off and I rear end them, technically a rear end is your fault because you're the one that did the rear ending. But if you can prove that, let's say somebody cut you off prematurely, driving on the highway, for instance, getting people coming off an on-ramp, and someone just happens to just cut you off to the point where you hit the brakes and you can't stop and you hit them, if you have dash cam footage showing that, most likely, if you show that to a cop, the cop's going to look at it and be like, oh, well, that wasn't your fault because that's aggressive driving or whatever. But when it comes to Uber and Lyft, people acting stupid, people acting crazy. If somebody throws up in your car, somebody tries to rob you, for instance, like what happened to me. Just there's so many different reasons to get a dash cam, even if you don't drive for Uber and Lyft, that there's really no point in not having one. But like I said, you need to check with your state guidelines, rules, and regulations and see exactly what your state requires. If you do drive for Uber and Lyft, make sure that if your state is a two-party state, that you can get them cheap on Amazon. They're like $3 or $4 for like a pack of 2 or 4 or whatever. But make sure that you get the little stickers that go out on your windows, so that way they are aware. Because if not, that footage will be inadmissible. You can't use it. And if they're not aware, or if you don't have it put on there, even though they might be aware that it's there, if for some reason you had to go to court, they could just say, no, I didn't know it was there, because you don't have anything saying it is. So at the end of the day, you guys always want to have that displayed somewhere, either in your car, like on the back of your headrest, or on the windows outside. I prefer to go with on the windows outside just because it takes up less real estate and it's easier to just display there. But with that being said, guys, that's pretty much all I had to say about dash cams. If anybody wants to know, I would highly recommend getting a dual dash cam. Like I said, whether you're driving or not, if you are... One thing that's really cool, and I will say this, I recommend a dual dash cam for all purposes. Dual dash cams are really important if you drive for Uber and Lyft, because not only does it record what's in front of you, but it records your passengers. So yet again, if somebody throws up in your car, does anything stupid, they try to pull any bullshit, you have it recorded, you can submit that into Uber, or whatever you want to do with the footage. But like I said, if anybody ever has any dash cam footage they want to send my way, please feel free. I'll share it. I'll make sure you get credit for it. But another reason I like having a dual dash cam in my car is because when I have my kids in my car, sometimes my kids say the funniest things, and they do some of the funniest and sometimes some really annoying things in my car. But I like to have it recorded. What's up, Hogan? How's it going, man? How much battery or memory time do they average usually? Battery, none, because mine is plugged into a 12-volt outlet. The capacity for mine, if you go into my description for this video, you'll see a as new dash cam. That's the new dash cam that I use. It's the Blue Sky C SEA. That's the dual dash cam that I use, and I think the max capacity is a 256 gigabit SD card, I believe. Usually it lasts me like 2 days. If I'm driving, say I drive for 8 hours at a time each day, it usually lasts me 2 days almost. It honestly just depends on how much I drive. If I don't do any Uber or Lyft and I'm normal driving, like probably, like, when I say normal, I mean like an hour and a half to 2 hours a day, driving back and forth places and things like that, it can usually last me almost a week. But the thing I like about my dash cam is, so I have actually I think I have 2 or 3 memory cards that I specifically use for my dash cam. The reason being is, depending on if I go down to Philly or somewhere further away, I like to be able to keep the footage. So that way if somebody complains like 2 or 3 days later, I still have the footage saved. No, Aaron, so I decided not to get the one with GPS. There is, however, a hole in the side of it that I could get there's like a little GPS thing just to it. I think there was an extra like 30 or 40 bucks or something like that. But no, this one does not have GPS, but it is capable to get it. If you go on Amazon's link for it and You look at it, there is the version I got, and then there's the version that I got, and then it says beside it says plus GPS something or whatever. But yes, you can get this one with the GPS. I decided not to. I didn't see the point, because at the same time, I'm not sure if it has to be connected to Wi-Fi or not for that to work. I don't know. Well, Aaron, the thing with that though too is, if people say you're speeding and report that to Uber and Lyft have your GPS tracked on your phone. Like, they have the route that you took, and they have how long it took you to get there, so they'd be able to track that anyway. That makes sense. Uber and Lyft record all your miles, and they record the routes and all that stuff. Like, they track you with GPS through your phone. That's how they know. So it's not really needed on your, at least in my opinion, it's not really needed on your dash cam as to a GPS system on your dash cam. I would just highly recommend that you get a dual dash cam, because that way, again, it tracks the front, it tracks the back, you can see your passengers. I've even seen people have a dual dash cam in the front, and then my one friend I know has a dual dash cam in the front. Sorry guys, going through some mountains. A friend of mine actually has a dual dash cam in the front, and then in the back has another dash cam that shoots out the back, so that way he can see cars behind him, and he can record that too. So if for some reason there's an issue there, whether he's coming to a stop and somebody rear ends him or something like that, he can have that recorded. It's just one more thing. Now, I think that's a little bit of overkill, but if that's something that you want to look into, I mean, dash cams aren't that expensive. Like I said, mine, I think at the time I got it was $130, but you can find other ones for 40, 50, 60. I would highly recommend also, if you do get a dash cam, make sure that it has night vision, because you never know. You don't want to buy one that's just daytime and then a couple months down the road find yourself driving at night and not need it. I'd rather have the option to be able to record it at night, even if I'm not, because that way, say 6 months or a year down the road, if you do find yourself switching your schedule or like Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights when it's busy, have to go buy another dash cam. I would always prepare for worst and hope for the best, or spend a little bit of money, get a decent dash cam that works really, really well, and then not have to worry about it later down the line, if that makes sense. If you're not driving and someone hits you, I don't know, Aaron. Like I said, there is dash cams that will record when your car is not on. Those you'd have to look into yourself. I don't know. I know there is a couple different ones out there that have an internal battery, that way when your car's not running, if they feel like, I don't know how exactly they work, but I've seen them around, where maybe if they feel like a motion or something, they'll come on and record. But yeah, I don't know how that would work. Well, yeah, mine, as long as my car is running, as long as my car is turned on, my dash cam comes on and records. It automatically starts recording. The only time my dash cam goes off is when I turn my car off. As long as it gets power, it starts to record. it automatically it starts to record once I turn my car on. So the only time that it wouldn't record is if my car was parked on the street and somebody hit my car on the street. Then I wouldn't have that footage, unfortunately, because it's not on. Now, there is dash cams out there. They're like double or triple the price, some of them, but there is some dash cams out there that will actually sense a motion and they'll record. I know, I'm not sure exactly what the brand is, but I have seen a couple dash cam footage already of people's car getting broken into. And as soon as the car gets broken into, the dash cam records all the stuff that goes on inside the car. I've seen a couple of those already, so I understand where you're coming from on that. And like I said, there is dash cams out there that do record internally and externally what happens if there's like motion. They have some type of sensor inside that senses the motion and automatically turns on. I think some of those are actually hardwired to a fuse box or the battery. I'm not 100% sure. Mine, like I said, it's just a 12 volt. Goes into the 12 volt. Whenever I turn the car on, it turns on. Whenever I turn the car off, after a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes, it turns off. So, any more questions about Dashcam, guys? Like I said, they are a necessity. If you drive Uber, me personally, I think they're a necessity, period. If you have a car, you should have a dash cam. Mainly because, just for insurance reasons alone, it helps prove, especially if you didn't cause an accident, it helps prove that to an insurance company or to the police that, hey, I didn't cause this accident. The person in front of me, or the person behind me, or even the person 3 or 4 cars ahead, somebody swerved, hit that person, and caused a 3-car pileup, whatever. It's just one extra layer of security if you get stuck in an accident for you to prove that it wasn't your fault. Now, for Uber and Lyft purposes, we all know why. You go on Uber and you go on YouTube, you type in Uber and Lyft dash cam footage, you'll find tons of instances where either a passenger assaulted an Uber driver, or pulled a gun on an Uber driver or Lyft driver, or threw up in their car, or shit in their back seat. It did happen. I've seen it happen. Not personally, but I've seen it on YouTube. There's plenty of instances where you see all these things happening, and it's all caught on dash cam footage. So, again, I highly recommend that if you do not have one, even if you need to just get a cheap $30 or $40 one, if you can find one somewhere, just till you get enough money saved up to get a decent one, something is better than nothing. So, alright guys, well, I hope everybody has a safe Saturday. I have a lot of stuff to do today. I'm going hiking with some friends hopefully later, and then I'm going down with some other friends to hang out for the night. So with that being said, I hope everybody has a good weekend. I hope everybody stays safe. Again, just to remind everybody, if anyone does watch this and stays this long, January 24th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time will be another hoodie giveaway. I have 3 or 4 that I have. I think I'm going to give 1 or 2 away right now, and then maybe another 1 or 2 next year, or next month. So, but with that being said, guys, I hope everybody has a good today's not Friday, oh my god. Hope everyone has a good Saturday. Stay safe out there, stay warm, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care.